The organisers say it will be a peaceful procession. They fly the British flag and belong to the Protestant Orange Order, which has a tradition of marches through cities in Northern Ireland. As a result of the peace process, they've been obliged to route their parades so as not to antagonise the city's Catholic residents. But those changes go too far, say the Orange men.
We take our faith very, very strongly, and more so by wearing our collarettes. This is another extension of our faith, so it is. And we find that the Protestants here in Belfast and Northern Ireland are being systematically obliterated, so they are, and our culture's being oppressed.
The Orange men weren't supposed to be playing music today, because their march takes them past St Patrick's Church in the Catholic neighbourhood of Carrick Hill. Locals there are protesting what they see as provocation by the Protestant sectarian songs. The previous few months had seen similar clashes over other marches, with the police being attacked by incensed Catholic youths. According to a witness, they were provoked by the Protestants.
If you've been observing here from the 12th of July, you've seen the type of hymns that's been playing by here. You've seen it been threw up in the faces in here, dancing in front of the church, coming by Carrick Hill, and there weren't hymns coming by Carrick Hill. The tunes and the singing was, we're up there necks and Fenian blood. Look, listen, them days are gone.
The Protestant group have now set out on their parade. And despite the prohibition, they're playing their hymns even as they pass the Catholic Church.
Our people are sick to the back teeth. We have been bombed and shot at and intimidated for 30, 40 odd years. We've been asked to accept terrorists in government so that we could all move on and we can all live in peace. That's not even good enough for them. They also want us to hide away our culture and our tradition, and people are saying no more.
Protestant neighbourhoods still feature murals glorifying armed struggle. There are also radicals on the Catholic side who reject the peace process. Peter Sherlow is Director of Education at Queen's University. He has worked to bring together dissidents from both sides. The radicals have become a major problem, he says.
One dissident group may have had guns, but they wouldn't have had bullets, whereas another group would have had bullets and not had guns. And it seems that recently that these groups have started to merge together. So they've started to realise that the expertise or the weaponry that they have would be much better served if they were to co-join. And I think that's a development which is quite dangerous in a way.
Belfast has an infamous series of walls, officially called peace lines, separating the two communities to minimise violence. There are gates permitting passage to neighbouring areas, but at night they're shut. For Heather Wilson, the walls are just part of the local landscape. The 21-year-old Protestant is on her way to see her best friend, a Catholic.
I come in the car, but I would have no problem walking around as well if I was with Rose. Maybe not so much if I was on my own, if that's fair, but like just because I don't know the area and it's completely different from where I live. But if I had to, yeah, I would walk around it with Rose, like that would be fine, yeah.
Rose Todd is a local celebrity. She plays football for the Northern Ireland national team in a squad traditionally dominated by Protestants. Unlike many people from her neighbourhood, she also has Protestant friends.
She's been here before, and I've seen the reaction like of people who know, and there's been a good reaction. Like most people, I know there's still always going to be people who's going to live in the past, but most people do want to move forward, and they're happy. Like they're like, that's brilliant. It's better to be moving on than staying in the past. So most people are for.
Rose's mother, Barbara, raised all of her 6 children to be tolerant and open-minded. She lost a brother to the conflict. He was a member of the IRA and was shot dead by British soldiers. She insists the peace has to be maintained at all costs.
When I was young, it was quite different coming up, and it was quite scary, and I mean, all you seen was death and violence and coffins and, you know, it was awful. And you really don't want to see that, you know. So I would always say, tell my own children, you know, death is not to be laughed at, no matter who it is or what it is. It's sadness, and somebody owns that person.
Rose and Heather didn't grow up with violence and grief. For their generation, peace has become the norm. But interdenominational friendships like theirs are few and far between. How do they see people coming together?
Definitely through sport, I think, is the best, and encouraging kids to do stuff like that definitely is the best way forward.
Sport's a big factor in bringing people together, like, definitely is. Because it doesn't matter, you're just friends with each other and you're in a team, and nothing like that ever comes up. It's just you're in the same team, you like the same sport, and that's it, you're just all friends. So I think sport's definitely a good way to bring people together.
The hope is that the different communities of Belfast will become closer over time, as the two young women have. But there's a long road ahead.